Hello and welcome to the second day of sessions at the EGX Theatre 2019. Coming up later, we've got sessions on Life is Strange, how to build a next-gen console spec PC. But now, with a panel on AI and games, please welcome your host, Tommy from AI and Games.
Thank you very much. Look at this, such a beautiful audience we've got here. Some of you, I was going to say, you look great, but it's really hard to tell because there's this really glaring light bearing down on us right now. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along. This is the first time that AI and Games has been up here in the theatre. We've been in the Fringe Theatre for the last year, so we've been promoted. Ding. Way! All right, so if you're thinking, what on earth is this? Who is this guy? Why is he shouting the soothing Scottish voice as was advertised? I'm Dr. Tommy Thompson. I am the writer and host of AI and Games, which is, among other things, a YouTube series about the research and applications of artificial intelligence in video games. Why do I do this? Well, I'm a PhD graduate in AI. I work as an AI consultant in the video games industry. I build AI and games, and I like to tell people about the cool stuff that you never would know about otherwise. And we do a bunch of different videos. Here's some highlights from this year, actually. A two-part episode on the AI of Horizon Zero Dawn, an opportunity to interview David Doak, who was the designer on GoldenEye, to find out how that worked. Matt, who I'm about to introduce in a minute, he and I went to Rare earlier this year and did a four-part episode on the AI of Sea of Thieves, and recently the longest ever episode I've ever done, which is 30 minutes of me talking about Hitman. And I also do other stuff. We like to look at how research is applied in this space, like using machine learning to create Mario levels, or actually villages in Minecraft, which we'll come back to in a minute, but also the opportunities or dangers of things like microtransactions being governed by AI, and how do we use particular tools and technologies in the games industry? How does it work? And just try and educate people a little bit better on this. But I'm boring. I'm just a very loud Scottish man. So what I like to do is I bring in other people to kind of help present this, and also just to talk about stuff, and also get as far away from my technical gubbins as possible, because I realize that I can be a bit of a drag. So we've got four guests, our largest panel ever. Give it a loud, please say hello. Actually, so we can start, just say hello. Hello.
Hello.
And I'm going to introduce you all. First up, we got Jupiter Hadley, who even has her own intro video right here. Jupiter has been around for quite a while now. She's an indie games journalist. She's a YouTuber, largely famous for covering games and game jams. And unless I'm mistaken, you've probably now played more video games in your young life than everyone in this room combined. Do you actually remember how many games you have now played to date?
I hit a little over 30,000 earlier this year.
30,000.
I have a statistics sheet that says it down to the number online.
30,000 video games, ladies and gentlemen. What Jupiter does is incredibly valuable to the game jam community and to a lot of the indie game community as a whole. And she's just good chat, so I thought let's have her on. Next up is two guys who really love to hear themselves talk. First, we've got Danny Philbrook, that's the one with the hair at the top, and Luke Ashmead with the hair at the bottom.
Hello.
That's a good way of describing us. We've never gone
You know,
for
my
that
wife
before.
said, don't do that. They'll kill you. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to run with it. Danny and Luke kickstarted their new radio show on the BBC, Level 23, earlier this year, where they like to talk about games. They're two guys that love games, and they just want to talk about it and share it all over the world. So they're on BBC Radio right now, and they're out on Twitch. You can watch this show out on Twitch as well. I don't know where that came from. I hope that wasn't my laptop. And you can even see I've been on the show because I'm just a glory hog. Last but not least, Matt Syrett at the far end.
Hello.
Who just, you know, you just humor me at this point. You just put up with all my shenanigans.
I just help you with your crazy projects.
Yeah, whenever I've got a good idea, I say good, he doesn't. And I'm like, I need an artist to help me with this project. Matt's like, all right, fine. Matt's a 3D environment artist. He works as a freelancer. We work together in our game dev company, Table Flip Games, and is also a university lecturer in computer games art.
Yeah, I have
and BAFTA
many
Crew
hats.
2019.
Yeah, I'm part of BAFTA Crew 2019 this year. So yeah, and I have many hats, and I help Tommy with his crazy ideas. Yeah, it's pretty much
You're
sums me up.
just my enabler. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, it's really great to be here. You know that way, it's like sort of, what did we just talk about? And actually, for some of you, this is your first EGX, lest I'm mistaken. Danny and Luke, this is your first time here?
Yeah,
Yep.
neither of us done this before. This is amazing. I love this. It's just games everywhere. I mean, that's the best thing in the world, right? It's just fun.
No, I agree. Everything he just said. Everything he said, I agree with. First time here, the vibe's brilliant, the people are brilliant, and I'm sure you're all enjoying it.
And it's also loads of indie games that I wouldn't usually probably find out about. I've been playing because the queues for the big games, I'm not going to get anywhere near those. but I can get near the indie games and I can play them, and they're all really inventive and really fun. So that's a really nice experience.
Yeah, that's what I've enjoyed most since I've been here. Down in the tentacle section. I've enjoyed it there.
The Tentacle Collective. There's actually a bunch of indie devs in the room right now. Make some noise if you're in the Tentacle Collective. There we go.
Loving it.
Make sure to go down there, play all those indie games. They're absolutely brilliant. Me, I've managed to play 2 games so far. Matt and we snuck in and played Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
I don't think we were supposed to be allowed in.
I don't know. We just walked in.
We just walked in, and this was before doors opened, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine, on you go." And then we're playing for 20 minutes, and somebody kind of came over like, are you with us? Do you work here? And we're like, no, but the game's really good. And so they gave us an extra couple of minutes, bless them. And then they finally told us to get out. And then I queued for Avengers as the doors opened. I managed to get in and play Avengers. And I really wanted to play Doom Eternal because I played a lot of the first Doom. It was on we did an episode about it last year, about all the cool stuff that we did in that, and how they did in that game, id Software did in that game. And oh, I'm so excited. It's my jam. Jupiter, I'm assuming you've played all the indie games at this point.
No, but I've played a few.
How many?
Do you want to hear about them?
Go for it.
I played Hypcronandromic, which is a very terrible name, and I said that to them. In the transfuser booth, they have broke it down by syllable, but I still can't say it right. It's got super beautiful pixel art animations, and basically it's like programming your attacks. So you've got 4 attack spaces and limited energy, and you've got an enemy with a couple of attacks in their attack spaces, and you need to pick the right attacks that can counter or help beat what they're doing, and then hit play. And then your character, you don't get to change what you're doing, you just watch it go down over and over again until one of you die. And it's just beautifully animated, and it's quite fun to sit there and learn new attacks and then figure out what ones to put in that can counter what's going on. I also played Arrow 2, which came after Arrow 1, which is quite similar actually. And that's they call it a rhythm shooter. So at one point you're shooting enemies in space, very basic, it feels nice, but then all of a sudden around the edge of your vision there's lines that you have to hit with your ship. So where your ship is doesn't matter really for the gameplay of shooting things, but it matters way more for following the music, which then completely changes if you actually hit the music. And if you don't hit it, you just die, so you're gonna have to follow it. But you have to subconsciously follow it while fighting off enemies and then big bosses and whatnot. And it's really well done. They've got chairs here with the music playing behind you, and the bass in it when you hit notes vibrates your body slightly. So it's definitely a strange experience.
Not like a health and safety regulation or something there.
They asked if I wanted it turned down because I was like, this is weird. And they were like,
you can tell I'm getting too old. I'm like, is this a health and safety problem? Is there a bit of paperwork we need to write on this? It's a little bit...
Those have been my 2 favorites from today.
Nice. Yeah, I'm super excited for Doom. Matt, you played Doom, but you've not played the first one.
No, I haven't. I don't think I haven't played any Doom.
Ever?
Ever.
How have we been friends for this long?
I don't know, because I keep doing...
No, we're not friends. I've just decided. It's changed.
It's all right, I've seen the Terminator movies.
That's better.
There we go.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, it felt like a Doom game from watching Doom on YouTube and that sort of stuff.
So it felt like a Doom game from
there we
a man who doesn't play Doom.
There was lots of blood, gore, and heavy metal music to
the soundtrack is good.
Yeah. But I played Roki as well. On the indie side, if you get a chance, go play Roki. It's quite a beautiful narrative story game. The art is gorgeous. As you can tell, I am an artist, so I do play the games that have really nice graphics. But yeah, really cute story, and go check it out.
It's got a lot of folklore as well.
It's about folklore.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
So we will open up the floor to questions in a little bit, and I think there will actually be a mic set up. I think it's going to be around there, I believe, in a little while. But because this is always the problem, we come to these events and then we're really excited to play one game, and then we spend the rest of it as a social occasion. So what are we playing at home? Is there anything that you've been playing at the moment that you're like, this is really pulling you? Danny, we need to get you to play Sea of Thieves.
I do like Sea of Thieves. I think it's a lot of fun. It's just I don't have a lot to do on Sea of Thieves on my own. It's a quite sad pirate life when you're just sailing place to place on your own in the sea. It's like my real
life. All right.
It's
okay. It's all right.
What I've been really into at the moment, though, is I've been going back to the old Batman games, all the Arkham games.
Oh, yeah, the Arkham series.
Trying to beat your scores in the challenge rooms
right,
obsessively.
so I found that score.
Yeah.
There was one score. I've now beat it.
Yeah, I saw that, so I went back and beat it again. But what I like about the Batman games is, in theory, this is your chance to be Batman and punch people in the face as Batman, which sounds great, but in reality, you're just like hiding on a gargoyle for an hour, occasionally dropping down and scaring someone.
So true.
It's
so
like,
true.
being Batman is boring. Like, there is no fun to being Batman. He's just crawling around vents with his big ears. It's like, cool. I want to punch more people in the face, though.
Like, we actually covered that. It was on the YouTube show. It was like the second ever episode was the AI of Batman Arkham. Because it's really interesting when you, particularly with what you were saying, like you're sitting up top.
Yeah.
And like they deliberately dumb down all the guards so they do things that makes it easier for you to swoop down and take them out.
But what's the effect? Because you can see when you're playing Arkham that they're getting scared. Does that have any effect on the game? Because it says they're scared, but they're still just walking around.
Well, if you notice, it actually changes the animations they're playing, and there's certain behaviors they don't do. So like before, when they're okay, what they tend to do is they're just kind of chilling out, and they'll get to the edge of like, you know, there'll be like a barrier or something, and they'll kind of look over it. And they're like, no Batman down there. Because apparently that's where you keep all your Batmen. And then the longer you do it, eventually at the end, they're just like, oh my God. Oh God, where is he? Where is he? And they stop doing they stop doing that.
Yeah.
All these contextual behaviors where they're looking around, and it's largely animation driven. But yeah, like as soon as you've got them so freaked out, they stop doing all that. But they start doing things like dummy firing and things like that, pretending they're shooting the gun.
Yeah.
Which doesn't shoot bullets, but it looks cool. And the other thing particularly the combat, none of them will punch you unless there's an opportunity for you to counter them. And only the number of them that, depending on which Arkham game you play, the number of them that attack you at the same time is dependent on the number of counters you can do. So in the first one, only one of them will attack you at the same time. In the second one, because you can do more than, I think you can parry two of them at the same time, two of them will attack you at the same time. And then it kind of scales up and up and up and up.
So it makes it easy for you, basically.
It's designed so that you always have room to fail, but also have room to succeed, I guess.
That's really interesting.
Hey,
Learning
see,
more
you
about
learned
being
something
Batman.
new.
Yeah, I love that.
That wasn't scripted. Jeez. My laptop's just having a wee fight with itself over here. It's had enough. Okay. Dead Cells, because it's frozen right on it. Matt,
Yeah,
we've been playing Dead Cells.
Yeah, I've been playing quite a lot of Dead Cells. So I got it on Xbox, and then I liked it so much because I got it on the Game Pass. I bought it on Switch.
Same here.
Yeah, so I've been playing it on Switch, and it's a game that I thought I wouldn't like because I don't like Dark Souls. I'm really bad at it. But I actually got quite into it, and I thought I was going to get bored of it because when you at Dead Cells, when you die, you go back to the start of the dungeon, to the start of the game actually. And yeah, I just thought I was going to get bored, but I've been playing it way too much. And
So
my
yeah,
partner wasn't happy with me on holiday because I was playing it too much on
So how many
Switch.
bosses have you taken out now? So I just beat the Clockmaster, I think, which is like the second boss in the game, like last night.
So I beat the Clockmaster before you, I think.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
only started playing it on Switch like a couple of days ago because I was playing it on Xbox, and I was like you.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually really good. I'll
Yeah.
pay money for it now.
Yeah. No, I beat the Clockmaster, but I haven't got any further than the next level after that.
Is it what the King's Palace?
Yeah,
or
the
s-
King's
I got
Palace.
there. It's just, oh God.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that's really interesting about it is because it's like other... It's Spelunky, essentially. It's a roguelite, but it's also got a lot of these procedural elements and how it builds the levels out. And the thing that I said to you last week that I thought was really interesting about it is that it deliberately doesn't show you everything in the game at the start. So you start and it procedurally generates one or two levels. You get in, you maybe get so far, you die, and then every time you go back in for the first couple of hours, there's something new.
Yeah.
It begins to introduce a new mechanic, it introduces a new feature, and sometimes it introduces features that you don't have the ability to even do anything about, like the doors.
Yeah.
Have you seen them? Like the doors that you can bang on, and there's the bigger door as well, and then there's like these sigils that you can rub, and it allows you to teleport.
Yeah, there's also these sigils that you rub, but it doesn't do anything. It's just like a static charge.
Right, so you actually need to find an ability
Yeah.
that then allows you to use it.
Yeah.
And that allows you to teleport to other parts of the map. So it keeps, it does this really clever thing of sort of foregrounding all these gameplay elements. So you keep seeing them every time you run through the game and think, oh, that's interesting. I interacted with it, but nothing happened. And then sooner or later, you unlock a thing that says, all right, now try it, and suddenly it works.
But I mean, it's good as well because like it keeps you entertained even though you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it keeps
You're
you coming
just-
back
yeah.
into it, which was my biggest, like any game like that, I think there's always the risk of it runs out of, like Spelunky, I think after a while, once you've seen all the worlds,
Yeah.
kind of, Luke just looks completely bamboozled.
No, I'm listening. I'm so listening. That's my listening face. No, I'm listening.
Face for radio.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
might say.
absolutely. That's why I do it.
Jupiter, I feel like we've just kind of completely lost you because you're out in the indie space.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm listening.
But what are you playing?
I've played I have two games to discuss. One's Little Misfortune, which is a game that people probably haven't heard of. Have you heard of it?
No, actually.
No.
Tell me more.
It's by the same people that made Franbo, and I really love Franbo, their first game.
All right.
But basically, you play a little girl. You play the narrator of a little girl. So there's a couple of different voices and perspectives going on, but this little girl's been told that today's the day that she's going to die. And it's a weird,
That's
slightly...
nasty.
Yeah.
As a premise goes.
It's a slightly creepy point-and-click adventure game where you're sort of interacting with a narrator who's disliking certain characters and giving you options. And whatever option you pick, it's kind of wrong. You can never pick the right thing. Something bad is always going to happen, but it's never that bad. It's just sort of bad. Like at one point, there's a dog, and you can free the dog, or you can play with the dog. And when I picked play with the dog, I threw the ball. It hit the tree. It hit me in the face. A tree branch fell down, and it killed the dog.
What?
But then she sprinkles glitter on
You
it.
John
It's
Wick
okay.
the dog.
You don't
That's
get the dog.
grim. Like, actually, one of the things I did want to talk to you about, because I've got you on the stage, and we haven't seen each other in person
Yeah.
in quite a while now,
Wow.
is both of us were judges for the generative design in Minecraft competition in the summer,
Yeah.
and didn't know about it until each of us released videos about being judges in the generative design
Yeah.
in Minecraft competition. So, if you're not familiar with this is actually an academic competition that is co-organized largely at the New York University's Game Innovation Center, and it's also partially organized by Christoph Salga, who is a PhD graduate at University of Hertfordshire. And the idea is you write an AI system that builds Minecraft villages. So everything you can see on the screen right now, these are actual villages that were built entirely by an AI, and the human has no involvement in it. What they do is they actually build a lot of the templates that are going to be used, as well as add some rules about how that system is going to operate. And then as judges, what our job, like it was yourself and you and I don't know how many other judges?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
No one else released videos.
No one, yeah, exactly. Our job was to sort of grade them on their aesthetic quality and how interesting they were.
And how much they made a culture. That was the interesting thing. How much they told a story. So some really focused on having houses that were sort of farmers and clearly working class, and then having bigger like houses for people who would have more money. And they did work that culture in quite a few of them.
Yeah, I think there's one in this clip where there's a lot of houses on the lowland, and then at the top of the cliff, there's actually houses at the top as well. And it's giving you this sense of the upper class and lower classes in that kind of society. But then there was also like that one there with the high rises. It stuck out like quite distinctly. And what was cool about it? Did you go into them?
I went into lots of them, yeah. I played around for ages.
They had bedrooms and kitchens and all this
and
sort
not
of
a
stuff.
lot of them had actual furniture on the inside. So it was cool when it did. It was really neat seeing the different houses and how they played with the landscape as well, because some people, they just built those squares up in the air, the skyscrapers, which were cool in their own way, but
Yeah.
they just didn't take into any consideration the land around them.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I've just got a skyscraper here, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, a high rise or whatever. Yeah, definitely, it's like, so this competition's been running for 2 years now. They're now getting ready for their third year, and they're kind of ramping up. They're also just looking for a lot of hobbyists, students, just anyone who really likes writing Minecraft mods, because it's built in the Java version of Minecraft and uses the MC Edit tool. So yeah, if you know anybody who's really into Minecraft and really want to do something like that, get them to have a look. Ooh, I have a clock now. It's even telling me how much time I've got left. That's exciting. Ooh. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this. I just like to dig out the old, like, random headlines, and this is why you guys get an extra screen. Like, sort of random stuff that I'm seeing in the news. Did you see this thing about Transformers Earth Wars? So this is a mobile game, which has got a lot of microtransactions in it because it's a mobile game. It's the only way mobile devs can actually make money, by and large. Two things that really... The first thing that everybody caught in the media was that one player had spent $150,000 in the game. Now, I think that was, like, I saw it was on, like, Jim Sterling or something like that. He was kind of banging on about it, which, that's his thing. The thing that everybody else missed is that the developers said they're working on a deep learning technology that would enable them to essentially target people like that who spent $150,000. How do you feel about an AI system that's deliberately keeping an eye on you to make you spend more money?
So if I was to spend a lot of money, like a mortgage worth of money, on a Transformers game, they would then be watching me and think, he's a fool, let's target him and get him to give us more money.
At what point do they think he must have more money? He's only put $150,000 into Transformers. He must have even more money to spend.
I mean, it's quite good in the sense that me, as a player who has no money to put into these games, probably won't be targeted as much.
He's loaded, by the way. Don't let him tell you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loaded.
So that's quite a relief because
He's on BBC money, ladies and gentlemen.
it keeps rolling in. But I can't keep spending the license fee on Star Wars skins because I'm going to get in trouble again. So it'll be nice not to be targeted for that.
Yeah, like the other thing that I was thinking about is the flip side of it. So right now, it's very easy to target people that spend all the money because they've got all these transaction records of what you bought and when you bought it. Then you do the inverse. You figure out all the people that don't spend money. Like, I'm very sniffy about spending money in a mobile game. It's like, would you like to spend 99 pence? You get it. I'm not spending money in this. I don't care how much money it costs to actually make this game.
Do you feel
and
insulted?
As a game developer, I should really be more, respectful. But yeah, like that's to me the more interesting part is if they start pulling that in and go, Tommy doesn't spend money.
Well,
how do
playing
we
games,
sweeten the pot?
Well, playing games will start to feel more like walking into like a car shop or something. Like suddenly you're just going to be attacked by, you've got to do this and buy this and spend money on this. And that's why I don't go to car shops.
I was going to say, we played Destiny 2 for the first time this week.
Yeah. We won't go into that.
Yeah, we'll not go into
No.
that. It's like a car show with a car show and a car show and a car show.
But we were joking about this with mobile, if we ever really sure footing on mobile, was pay for mechanics. When is it going to end?
Yeah, we joked about this. We were going to make a build of the game where it's an infinite runner, but we were going to make it that you paid 60 pence to jump. It's a permanent transaction. Once you'd bought it once, you could jump as many times as you liked.
Yeah.
And then just see how much money you could make out of it.
Can you play the game without jumping? Like, you can't get past
No,
that
you
first
can't.
level. So it's not a free game anymore.
Well, it's free to play. It's pay to win. That's why we didn't do it, even though I thought this is definitely a money spinner.
Reskin it and put it out on a different name.
Like Mau Mau Castle,
Pretend.
where you can't move the cat. The other thing that stuck out was Microsoft's rolling out customizable text filters now for Xbox messages, which is great for Matt and I because we play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege together. And so I'm often having my family lineage and other aspects of my mother's heritage brought up in text chat after we've won or lost a round.
Yeah, especially for Rainbow Six. I don't know, we must attract them on that game.
It is. It's a very particular game that just seems to cultivate angry
Saltiness?
people.
You mean people are angry and abusive?
People who play
People who play...
games on the internet can be angry. No.
What?
On
No.
Grand Theft Auto, somebody sent me a text message because I beat them in a race, and it was just a homophobic slur. So I replied with, I love you. And they came back with, I love you too. And that was it. We were friends. It's that easy.
Just
Kill him
treat
with
love
kindness.
love.
Kill him with kindness.
But yeah, like this is actually something that's rolling out in other places. Spirit AI, which is a company that's based here in the UK as well as in the US, they've been working on actually building these text systems so it's deployable in any game. So if someone's harassing you, it can even intervene and say, it looks like this person's harassing you, well, I just pull them out of your text chat. Which I think is really important, particularly when you're not a heteronormative cis dude playing a shooter. As soon as you're not that default standard, suddenly everyone's got a bone to pick with you. Not everyone, because some people are nice. You guys seem great. Hard to tell. Again, the light's shining in my face, but thus far, you've been great. And yeah, like I kind of really like this idea. The other thing I think they're also going to do is voice. I don't know if Xbox is going to do it, but I know Spirit we're looking at voice. So if you're actually seeing horrible things, it'll filter it out in real time.
I wonder how that would do with like accents though, and people who like have heavy accents. It's like the Amazon or the Alexa or whatever. There's like some people who can't talk to it.
You've never seen me with a Kinect, have you?
No.
Matt.
Yeah, funny. Just doesn't like you.
But you've got soothing Scottish tones.
I do have a
Tommy.
soothing Scottish voice, but when I turn around and say Xbox, open Netflix, it just sort of tries to open up like Battlefield or something like that. And I'm like, no! And yeah, one time I was actually caught just shouting at an Xbox in work. And there was somebody from the other side of the building came in like, what are you doing? And I'm like, just try to get the thing working. Try to get the thing. Accents. Actually, FIFA, I turned it off in FIFA 14 because it kept thinking whenever I coughed that I was shouting obscenities at the manager.
Yeah, you got suspended.
I got suspended,
Yeah, you got
in
suspended.
career mode
Yeah.
for coughing. Oh, good grief.
But I mean, you on YouTube's got that kind of filter integrated into it now as well, because we use it on our videos for comment section. So we obviously block a load of words that we aren't appropriate, so that
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
see those comments. And I think it's a good thing, because, yeah.
But also that's why I have to have English subtitles in all of my videos. Because people from overseas go, your videos sound great for someone who's not a native English speaker. That was an actual comment I got a couple of months ago. I'm like, mate, I'm from Glasgow. Which means, no, I'm not a native English speaker, but I'm British born, all right? Jeez, tough crowd. You shush. Right, we've actually still got about 7 odd minutes left.
What was that hide and seek story that I
What's
saw?
that? Oh yeah, so
'cause
that was.
I'm-
Don't worry, if anyone has questions, please start mobilising, and you can actually ask them once we have a microphone out somewhere, which I believe someone is going to prepare for us. But yeah, the OpenAI thing. So this is the team that were working on the Dota 2 bots that learned to play. First, there was the individual Dota 2 bot, and then a while later they had the Dota AI 5, who were able to take on like actual competitive players. So this is a new thing that they were working on, is that they've been evaluating trying to get AI to learn to play hide and seek. So a bunch of them stand and wait and do the, 99, 98, 97, 96. And the rest of them run out and find ways to hide in the environment. And you can see there they've kind of boxed themselves in. And what they were doing is that they started inventing tactics because they can pick up objects and drag them around, or they can climb on top of them. And this is one of the tactics they figured out, was if we just box ourselves, surround ourselves by obstacles and just hope upon hope, no one can find us. So yeah, it's a kind of, and it's all through self-evaluating play. So they're getting better at playing hide and seek by just playing more hide and seek. You any good at hide and seek, Jupiter?
I know hide and seek. I can play hide and seek. Yeah.
No, I'm just checking.
Yeah. In America, we've hide and seek. Yeah, it's a thing.
Is this why I should be scared of AI? Because they can
We're
now
learning how to
hide
hide
from
from
us.
you.
Well, they're hiding from you.
Yeah.
You won't know until the last moment.
Oh, man.
Oh dear.
Wonderful.
Anyone got any questions? We've got a few minutes left. The microphone is right there. Step on up to the microphone if you have a question. Ladles and jelly spoons. We've got 6 minutes left.
Wow,
and the
spotlight.
light
I
is
love that.
on.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You were talking about F2P talking about AI targeting potential whales.
Yes.
What do you reckon would happen if someone else was using an AI to spend in a free-to-play game and they were also targeting that AI?
Chaos.
Terminator.
Yes, that was such a good question that I
Mind
just broke
blown.
out in coughs. Yeah, like one of the interesting things is if you built a system that's trying to distribute its money more evenly, and then you end up with AIs that are targeting AIs that are spending money. I'm sorry, did I say something funny? It's AI.
AI.
Aye. Aye. My AI and your AI and his AI. But yeah, like you'd accidentally create an arms race dynamic where you've got two AIs trying to get each other to spend money. And I think we lose, ultimately, in the end.
That's how the world ends.
Are you an evil genius?
No, I'm not planning anything.
Okay, fine.
The person funding the AI loses in the end, and the AI who needs to make money wins. That's how that works.
This is Alien versus Predator all over again.
No matter who wins, we lose.
Oh, dear. Oh, we've actually got a queue of questions now. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, I recognise this man.
Hello.
Hello, Quang.
Whoa, it's really tall. I'm not that tall. So fighting games.
Fighting games.
The AI in fighting games, it's either really bad or really good. That's what I found. How do you feel about the AI in fighting games?
AI in fighting games, like how many, do you guys play fighting games at all?
Have done.
Right.
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash, right, Smash is one thing.
Yeah, because you can set the level on that, and that's quite fun. So I can get beaten by any sort of computer, which is always good.
Yeah, you know
Freezing.
I don't play fighting games. Tommy tried to train me once on Killer
We
Instinct.
played Killer Instinct for one evening and you rage quit within
Oh yeah,
about
that
half
got
an hour.
uninstalled straight
I'm
away.
like, this is a combo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like
I button
I
mash.
think one of the big problems with it is that you can get really good playing it offline, And then as soon as you get to the online phase and you're dealing with actual humans,
Definitely.
the skill difference in it is ridiculous. Even at Smash, if you get really good at high level of bots of Smash, but then bots in Smash don't play like humans do. I mean, the only example I can think of off the top of my head is Killer Instinct. The Killer Instinct 2013 version, the season 2 of that, they actually did an AI cloning system, which is like Forza's Drivatar. It's called the Shadow AI. And they did that by actually replicating human behavior. And I still think that's one of the best examples out there because it tries to bridge the gap between you're really good at playing it offline and then you want to go online and play and you just get, your derriere handed to you. And I've had that in a lot of fighting games because I'm old now and I don't have time to get really good at games. Shut up, you. You're thinking that's way too funny. Have you seen this grey hair? Look at this. But yeah, I think there's a lot of work to go. I think right now the way that we do it isn't effective because it's actually, I think it turns away a lot of people who would be really keen to play more fighting games and get more involved in those communities if they could actually figure out how to translate those skills into the online arena.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, we're running out of time. Hello, sir.
Hi. Have you been following stuff with Google Stadia and this negative lag where it's going to try and build a list of predicted inputs
Yes.
that you can do? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm looking at the clock going, oh no, I've only got 2.5 minutes to answer this. I think it's really valuable in some regards because they're trying to address the latency issue. And let's face it, I'm not sold on Google Stadia, period. Anyone else? Google Stadia? No? Because we all live in Britain, right? And
Our
internet
internet's
is
rubbish.
variable. Wooden internet, we often refer to it as, like particularly where I live. It oscillates between like 10 Mbps and 100. And you can't even play a game of Titanfall consistently. And so I think having that lag there is great, but at the same time, it doesn't fundamentally address the problem of you're trying to tailor this product and sell this product to a AAA audience, hoping upon hope that are really going to be invested in it, despite the fact one of the things that they really like is complete authority and control over their systems. So, like, for example, Doom Eternal was one of the big launch titles that they've announced, and I'm very excited for that game. I played it, it's great. I would never want to play that on a Stadia. I think there's a lot of value potentially for, like, particularly people with motor function issues, particularly with motor disability. Having that in there, I think, was really powerful. Like, really helping someone who's really struggling to do a particular maneuver, and the system figures it out in the middle and says, oh, you're maybe trying to do this, and help them out. I think that's fantastic. I'd love to see more of that. AI for accessibility in games, I think, is this untapped area. But yeah, I'm not buying a Stadia anytime soon.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing.
Cheers. Oh, we got... All right, here we go. We got 2 left. Here we go. Yes, sir.
Okay. That AI Minecraft competition could only happen because there's so many tools and ways to modify Minecraft. Is there any sort of game that you wish had those tools just so people could, I don't know, do cool things with it, just like the housing competition in Minecraft?
So sorry, just let me confirm that. So you're saying about looking at the tools that you can use for modding in Minecraft. Are there any other games that allow for that sort of thing? Or?
Yeah, just sort of AI things. I'm thinking like user-created AI for
like,
shooters and stuff like that.
Like, there's not an awful lot of it that enables for you to really get in and change the guts of it. There was, what was that Microsoft game that came out a few years ago that they eventually canned? Was it the one that was you could actually build games?
Or was it Project Spark?
Project Spark, that was it, thank you. Yeah, you could actually change the AI in that. You could actually dictate rules and logic in there. And what they had was actually really cool. Like, as a player, you could come in, create a character, and dictate, these are the conditions in the world where that character's going to do something. But it's very high level, it's very abstract. And I think one of the big problems with creating a tool like that is there's no agreement. If you look at a lot of different AI tools and technologies used in the games industry, in fact, shameless plug, watch all the videos. You can go from one big AAA title to the next and use a completely different tech. There's very little agreement on what we use. Doom uses finite state machines. You've got Tomb Raider uses behavior trees or planning tech. Horizon Zero Dawn's using planning tech. Other games are using machine learning. No one can really agree on this is the tool that we want. And then how do you communicate how those systems work to players? And I think that's always a big problem. is trying to really get into the guts of it. But yeah, at the moment, I think we need more of it.
In general?
But yeah.
Thank you.
All right, I think we got time for one last one. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi. So in connection to what you said about playing offline against AI and then going online and encountering all these pros who kill you within seconds, how would you or the panel think about when gaming companies would intentionally put AI players into online matches without telling you that they're AI, just so you have a better experience and some successes here and there?
So deliberately putting bots into the game in order to make your experience better, in theory.
Good marketing.
Sorry?
It's good marketing. It'll make people play for longer.
But do you tell them?
Well, this happens a lot in Tetris 99 on the new mode they've got, where if you've won a game of Tetris 99, you can play with all the other elite players as well. And it's only when you finish and you lose, you realise how many of those weren't real people at the end of it. And I feel quite bad if I've not beaten all the computer players. But to be honest, I can't tell. I could never tell if it's a computer or not, so it doesn't affect my experience of playing.
I think it can potentially have value, particularly if you're lower skilled and you're maybe trying to get better or you're really new to the game. Like, one of them that does it frequently is Gears of War. Gears of War has put bots in your opening multiplayer matches for years, for like several iterations. That way you get a couple of kills in the opening matches rather than just getting shot in the head with a shotgun within your opening 30 seconds, which is kind of the common Gears of War multiplayer experience. But yeah, they do it there. And then was it Fortnite has just announced they're putting bots in.
I think more battle royales are actually putting bots in to keep player retention. Because like you said, if you're a new player and you're going against players who've been playing it since season 1, you're going to get frustrated. So I think companies are trying to do it to keep their player base and help new players to the game learn the game without getting frustrated. Yeah.
And also, Grand Theft Auto, I've also always had connection problems with that, and my friends might disconnect in the middle of a mission, and it will just sort of replace them with an AI, but not a very good AI. So I'm on the back of a motorbike, and suddenly my friend's just speeding off. And I'm like, Ben, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is silly. And he's just crashed into a wall and legged it. And I'm like, oh, he disconnected an hour ago, and I didn't realise.
And you don't even have a friend called Ben, do you?
I don't even have a friend called Ben. It was all in my head. So it was a weird moment, like Fight Club.
I mean, I think it's down to skill level, really. So, like, if you're a really high-level player, you can probably opt out and say, I don't want bots in my game. But, you know, maybe if you're lower level and you're new to the game, it's deliberately seeding them in there and kind of helping you along. Or maybe you're just having a bad run. Like, I sometimes get that. Like, we play Rainbow Six, and I just lose again and again and again and again, because I keep end up on team-killing teams. So it'd be great to have a team of bots maybe to help me out, because I've just lost faith in humanity.
Well, I think that'd be a good thing, especially on casual, not ranked, because there's a lot more punishment on ranked on Siege. But if they replaced your team-killing teammates who are human with bots that would help you, then like Counter-Strike does, I think that would be better on Siege, yeah. Because we encounter it all the time, don't we? Where we'll have a team and we'll be the last two on that team for trying to win 2-0 down. So yeah.
Alrighty, we're going to have to wrap up. We have went over time already, but we've had a wonderful audience. First of all, can I ask you to make some noise for our panel, for Jupiter, for Matt, Danny, and Luke? You can see them all on Twitter, up there. You can follow them all on Twitter. Make sure to check out twitch.tv/BBC Level 23. Make sure to check that out. Also, a shameless plug for me. Check out AI in Games. We're up on Patreons. It's a crowd-funded show. You can even get a free t-shirt if you become a patron this month. Thank you very much for being here. You've been a wonderful audience. We're out.